Um, I want to confirm the ambiguity of substance abuse that in Europe, I've never had any temptation, even to drink, only socially. In California, it was somewhat um, like, all right, now I need a drink. Over here, I do not. Okay, I have sure epiphanies over here. You don't need much more than occasional puff the magic dragon, which is le natural, the natural slave, um, um, fabric. Okay, hemp. You don't need a rope that often um, to keep the ship from being tied down. Huh? Huh? Thomas Jefferson's spaceship, indeed. Because everything he had, he didn't need in America. So when he goes to Europe, he's like, well, oh, there's one more thing. Yeah, my daughter's a babysitter. Yeah, she's part of the family. My God. Okay, that's what the French said. Yes. Oh, you own slaves, don't you? He says, yes, but I don't need to drink anywhere. Look at George Washington. You think he puts, consumes substances on the frontier? Yeah. But here in Europe, I've never had a drinking problem, let alone a drug problem, other than Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, frolicked in the... I don't have any drug or alcohol cravings here other than a little bit of like, whoa, now I need to write some poetry about this. Okay, which is very natural, slaving to the fantasy. Puff the Magic Dragon. I don't know where that name comes from, but it kind of reminds me of Starry, Starry Night. Yeah, drugs, no. How about no? Okay, the thinkers from the mythical land above the sea, in the desert. Okay, that one, what do they call it? High Brazil, Atlantis, something like that. That sank because some corruption or something like that. I think it was actually Port Royal, Johnny Depp, wasn't it? An earthquake. The sand was half rum or was rum or something like that. And, they kept drinking, okay, and just like once the earthquake hit, all that sand that they're building their entire existence on, it just sank. A big sandbar that they can do that liquefaction. That's what happens in the earthquakes. Um, and trust me, the 1980s in California, I was a teenager. I was underage. Okay, effectively that I ate too much porridge. My belly is aching. I have one addiction now. It's oatmeal porridge. It used to be a steak and kidney. Those are just, wow. That's like, well, we do not have those in California. We've got Mc Happy Meals, but we didn't have those. They seemed like homemade pies. That's what I liked about New England. It was amazing. They had these. I am full. I ate literally about almost a kilo of oats and about 1.5 kilos of water. So I'm carrying a 2 kilo load of. Oh my God! Now what? I I have. I've had a 2 kilo breakfast. Okay, and when the water hits the open so they really expand. And then you add a little cow juice. That's I didn't have dairy for 3 years, and I gave it up when early in sometime in my 20s because I was having either chronic pain because I would have it, or I'd have chronic heartburn. In America, there's when I was I can't remember. I think I was 12. We started drinking goat's milk. Goat's milk. Okay, disgusting. For at least a year, we bought it from the neighbor, basically almost the next door neighbor. She was sweet. She gave us piano lessons. Guess what? She taught us how to play the splits on the piano. That was it. Okay, not the splits like an attractive young lady. No, no. Her sons were older than us, and they were, they were like grown up. One of them was in the military and finished before I even. They're like at least 12 years older than me. Or 2 boys. Yeah, we drank goat's milk for at least a year, and then not long after that, we started to drink non-fat milk. And I will tell you that the combination of being in proximity to a Mexican population where there's lots of spicy, and not just spicy, but like, oh, you got the spicy one. Oh, look, he's eating the jalapenos. Why don't you put more ketchup on that? American ketchup or something like that. American mayonnaise. Wow. In Australia, I asked about ketchup. The ketchup containers are these like little turbo things, and they give you like 1 or 2 with a huge pile of French fries. They don't give you like, oh yeah, you want extra ketchup on that? They're just like squirting it all over the place. Ketchup, hot sauce. No. They give you 1 packet of ketchup in Australia. So it's the paradigm of like, whoa, do you really need all that, glazed I ate a whole kilo of oats right now, I swear. That's my addiction, all right? I'm having oat overdose at this point. I want you to know that. And I should have really gone halfway through and had a coffee, but that's another thing. Even caffeine, I'm afraid I confuse it with coffee. Just like steak and kidney pie, it's not the same as a grilled cheese sandwich, or just a cheese sandwich with no butter at all. It's just it's like pizza. That's what that is. It's just some nice grains and some cheese, and it's melted, and you usually have like with some appropriate beverage, which could be caffeine, because that's you're happy once you have that. And I'm afraid that, like, I don't know, is caffeine even safe? I don't know. I fall asleep. The feed bag. But yeah, I don't do drugs, okay? I'll show you the one thing which I do. And I didn't do this for about like 3 months without anything. But this is, I was doing this hard stuff and gangster stuff. And right now it's this vape. It's a non-narcotic thing, but it makes you feel kind of like, whoa, you feel a little upbeat. It's I know there's this root in Nepal or Tibet that they eat, and I think it makes you fat, and the scientific study shows that it actually will give you breasts. A man, okay? And if like you start growing breasts, okay, don't tell anyone about that, okay? You might sort of smile about that, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah,